Hey witches, Tiffany here on Bewitching.Bemused, and today it is really freaking hot outside. It's now about 8 p.m. I had to hold off on filming because it was just way too hot, and now I've got everything opened up trying to suck in more cool air, so I'm so sorry for any background noise. I've also got a fan going, so hopefully there's not a huge amount of interference. Anyway, moving on. Today the spell that I have for you is an urgent money spell. Now, this isn't really meant for bringing in general prosperity or looking for an overall raise at work or a promotion or a new job. This is more a one-time deal. You urgently need money. Something came up. You got into a minor car accident. Car needs repairs. You've got a sudden emergency vet bill. It doesn't really matter what it is, so long as there is that emotional urgency behind this. Now, just a heads up, we are going to utilize sigil making as well as mantra sigil making, both of which can be found in this video. So if you are unfamiliar as to how to make a sigil or how to make a mantra out of a sigil, please take a moment, view that video first. It'll lay out the groundwork for you. This is a very simple spell. There's not a whole lot of components to it, but we are going to use incense. Now, if you live in a smoke-free zone, or you have asthma, or you have roommates or kids or pets or whoever with asthma or other breathing difficulties and you can't use smoke, I do have an alternative listed for you at the very end of this video. But that's it. That's about all you need for this spell. You need urgency behind your intention. You need a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil, and some incense. Now, the specific incense that I'm talking about is this one right here. It says right there, attracts money. Now, I know that sounds a little gimmicky, but to be perfectly honest with you, I bought a huge box of this on a whim one time, and ever since I started using it then, I swear by it. This is what I recommend. This is what I'm going to use. However, if you have your own variety of money or prosperity incense that you make or you have purchased, or even just a combination of dry, burnable herbs that you prefer, by all means use that. Just make sure you have enough to go on for several days, because we are not going to end this with just one stick of incense. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll get to that in a moment. If you want this one, it is linked down below in the description box. So the first thing you're going to do is create a sigil as well as a mantra with your intention. Now, I'm not going to do this for you here step by step. As you can see, I'm currently speaking over a sped up video of me creating it. The reason for that is because sigils and the mantras that come coupled with them are very personal. You really do need to take the time and devote the energy to making your own. The reason for that, again, is listed in that sigil video, the one that I mentioned earlier. Again, if you haven't seen it, if you don't know how to do this, make sure to watch that. If you missed the pop-up link earlier, you're gonna watch it at the end of this video. The link for that is also down below in the description box. So I always like to do this on a piece of scratch paper, kind of plan it all out. But then you are going to draw your sigil on a separate piece of paper. You can use colored construction paper if you want, you can use parchment paper, or you can just use some torn out notebook paper, whatever, it's really up to you. Do your best to commit the look of that sigil to memory and then place it beneath your incense burner. If you're using loose leaf incense, you can of course place it underneath your cauldron or whatever you're burning that in. And if you're somebody who is using this stick incense, but you don't have a stick incense burner, one fun trick for this is to tape this stick of incense to the edge of your kitchen sink. Now, if you're gonna do that for this spell, of course, tape the stick of incense to your piece of paper, then tape that piece of paper to the edge of the sink. And anyway, I think you guys get the idea. But that's just one little fun trick that you can do. Now, before you light up that incense, make sure you have a window open. You want that smoke to be able to escape outside. It is carrying your intention out into the universe. Now, light your incense with your intention in mind. Remember, as you're doing this, you are igniting your goals. You are igniting the catalyst that will eventually bring this urgent money to you. Make sure you feel that urgency as you do so. If this is kind of an anxious, panicky situation, don't get yourself all upset, but do start to rile up a bit of that emotion, because that is what is backing your spell here. That is what is really powering this manifestation. Now, of course, you should already be in your meditative state of mind. You should be grounded and centered, and I want you to speak your mantra into the smoke while visualizing your intention. As I always remind you guys, try to include all 5 senses as much as possible. Like I already said, feel that urgency behind the need for this money. What are you going to do with it? Picture yourself receiving the money in some form and then using it towards whatever this urgent purpose is. Feel the relief after you receive it and after you're able to pay off this debt or pay this bill or whatever it is. And of course, make sure to visualize your drawn sigil during this. Now, some people like to visualize it slowly lighting up. Some people like to visualize it, setting on fire and burning, and then the ashes getting carried away in the wind. It's really whatever it is to you. Some people just keep picturing it the whole way through. But again, we're multitasking here. You are not just visualizing, you are repeating that mantra aloud into the smoke that is rising from your incense. I like to keep repeating it over and over and over again, even if I'm already done visualizing, until those words feel like absolute verbal nonsense coming out of my mouth. When you're done, you can feel free to sign off. If there's something that you like to say or you like to do to close out every spell or ritual, feel free to do so. Then let that incense burn all the way down. After that, take your sigil and store it, the piece of paper with the drawn sigil, and store it in your wallet, in your purse, in your pile of bills, just whatever feels right to you. Make sure to use your instinct with that and just follow your gut. Now, like I said, make sure you have a big old pack of incense, because we're not done quite yet. You are going to continue to burn 1 stick of incense or 1 little bit of loose leaf incense every night until you either run out of it, or preferably until your money manifests. Now, you don't need to keep repeating all the other steps of the spell with creating the sigil, creating the mantra, visualization. If you want to, you're more than welcome to, but it's not necessary. Just make sure you light incense every single night, throw open a window, let that smoke escape. The most important thing is that you are continuing to light it with intention. Every time you light up that incense, you know that doing so signifies that you are igniting that intention, igniting the catalyst that will bring you your money. Now, as promised, here is your alternative for a smoke-free version. Let sound be the thing that carries your intention out into the universe. So now you're going to do the spell literally the exact way I already outlined it. Make sure to open up your window, you're gonna make your sigil, you're gonna make your mantra. Instead of placing your sigil underneath an incense burner, you are simply just going to hang on to it. Keep it on your person, and of course later on you will put it in your wallet, in your stack of bills, in your change jar, wherever. And instead of incense, you have a lot of options here. You can pick a song either with or without music or lyrics that you feel is fitting for your purpose, for the reason that you need this money. Or you can simply use a bell, a drum, a singing bowl. You can clap your hands. Pick whatever feels right, but try to pick something that, if all you have is clapping your hands, you don't have an instrument with you, you have to be quiet, maybe you can't be playing loud music or whatever. If that's all you have, then that's what you use. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're able to pick from, more options than just that, try to pick something that lines up with whatever it is you need this money for as much as possible. Just try to wedge a little extra symbolism and connectedness in there. So again, you're just gonna visualize the sigil as well as visualizing your intention manifesting, this money manifesting, and you putting it to work. You are still going to speak the mantra, you are still going to have a window open, but as you speak the mantra this time, try to say it to the rhythm of the music. You can even choose to chant or sing your mantra. Just try to harmonize with it, speak it to the beat, chant it to the beat, sing it. That way the two sort of flow together. Now again, on every following night after this, until your money manifests, you're going to keep repeating this song. You can either pop open a window and play the whole song from start to end, or if you did something like ringing a bell or clapping your hands, just take a moment, find that same rhythm, the same timing that you had before. Find it and just repeat it for a few minutes. Again, always with intention. That's the most important part of the action. If your actions don't have intention behind them, they're just movements. Okay, everybody, that is my urgent money spell. I really, really hope that nobody's in need of this because that's always stressful. But if you are and you do this spell, please let me know how it works out for you. Drop it down in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this, hit that thumbs up. And if you didn't enjoy it, if you thought this was terrible, hit the thumbs down. But that's it for today, witches. So as always, I will see you all very soon. And in the meantime, stay magical.